Welcome to Alistair Davies Golf. Today I'm here to talk to you about the difference between a 3-iron or a hybrid and how they compare. In this video I'm going to be looking at how they compare mostly from the rough, but also I will compare how the performance changes from good lie to a rough lie. So I've hit a few random shots from a random lie in the rough and some random shots from the fairway, or from a match situation in this case. And what I'm doing is going to compare the distance kind of lost when you go from the rough. Which club works better, as in does a hybrid or a 3-iron work better at the rough? So when you're faced with that decision on the golf course, whether you should go for a long iron or a hybrid out of a kind of semi-rough lie, you have a better understanding of which one to go for. And this is a factual test using Trackman as evidence rather than me just saying, oh, I feel the hybrid is better or I feel the 3-iron is better. So I'll be looking at things like kind of land angle, speed changes, launch angle changes, distance changes and spin changes, and trying to really compare how they differ when you take it to a rough situation. Hope you enjoy the video. Watch the next part now, will be all about the Trackman data. So just looking at the data here from Trackman, from the experiment from the rough and with hitting the shots off the mat also, what we'll see here is the white column at the top is the 3-iron from the rough, and if you see the yellow column, that's the hybrid from the rough. So if we compare the two of them, the kind of land angle with the hybrid is 4 degrees steeper, so effectively the ball's going to in theory want to stop quicker because it's landing at a steeper angle. The height achieved with it is 65 feet versus 49 feet, so again it's travelling at a higher arc. The carry distance is increased by 26 yards in comparison, and the overall distance is 30 yards, or just shy of 30 yards in comparison. Interesting enough, the speed with the iron was actually faster than the speed with the hybrid. So it just shows you that the hybrid is working better at the rough than the iron itself. The backspin on the clubs is less with the hybrid than the iron. Interesting enough, that might be a little bit to do with striker location as well. It might be the fact that I hit the ball higher in the face with the hybrid. The launch angle higher with the hybrid again compared to the iron. And if you compare the kind of the hybrid data to when it's on the fairway or the mat compared to it, you'll see that the land angle changes massively. It's decreased by about 8 degrees. The overall height is down by 20 feet. The carry distance is down by 30 yards, and the total distance is down by sort of 13 yards because the ball's obviously running a little bit because the spin's down and out of rough. Speeds are pretty similar, so the speed I'm achieving is similar-ish from the mat or from the rough. So it just shows you how the club's taking that kind of hit out the rough as it goes through. The 3-iron obviously drops a lot in distance. It drops by 47 yards in carry, and overall distance is down by 40 yards also. So realistically, looking at these numbers, the flight with the hybrid out the rough is much higher. The amount of loss in energy, if you like, or loss in distance with the hybrid compared to the iron is less. So based on these kind of numbers in my little experiment to try and hit some shots from a rough and using Trackman to sort of validate, hitting the hybrid from a rough lie, you're going to lose far more compared to a normal shot than you do with an iron. So my advice would be for the normal golfer, or even for the professional golfer, would be to use a hybrid out of rough rather than a long iron. You're going to get far bigger gains. Okay, so you've just seen the Trackman data pop up and me go through it. And it's quite clear for me, in my personal case, that the hybrid performed better than the 3-iron out of the rough. So for me, I would probably look to hit the hybrid a lot of the time if I'm playing the Parkland course and put that in my bag. And what I'll do in certain venues, if I'm going to play like a links course, maybe with not much semi-rough or secondary rough, I might well then put a long iron in place instead, because the penetrating flight of that might well benefit me more in windy conditions, and I won't have a lot of that kind of interference with the rough. I think it's quite clear from the evidence from the video that in the rough, the 3-iron takes a lot more friction from the grass, whereas the hybrid tends to, with a sort of bigger mass, tends to flatten the grass a little bit more, and that gives me more purchase on the ball consistently. If the lie is good, it probably won't make a lot of difference, but in rough, generally speaking, from my little basic test I've done here today, the hybrid outperforms the 3-iron in consistency and distance. So when you're facing that shot in the course, in the Parkland course, make sure you probably go for the hybrid rather than the 3-iron. That is my best advice I can give you. I hope you liked the video. If there's any content you want me to cover, please post comments down below, and I'll be sure to try and get them covered in my next section of videos. Please like the video and share it, and thanks for watching.